And saluting the ghosts in this, the tightest, the toughest, the most complete battle of all sports.
And what a chase on the kickoff. Repke is hammered.
Consider this. In a quarter of a century, Queensland has won a total of 36 Origins. 36. And New South Wales, the same number, 36. In all that time, in all those games, the Blues have scored just 9 more points and won 1 more series. It's mind-boggling. It's state of origin. Comes 2005, and Game 1 is decided in Golden Point extra time by a Blue throwing everything at victory and a Maroon running off like a thief in the night.
Intercept for Bowen. That's the end of it. Queensland have won.
Then Game 2, and a far-fetched script turned real. The Messiah returns.
Johns again. Johns is dominating.
Tonight, Game 3, the decider. A long time coming. From Suncorp Stadium, Brisbane, Queensland versus New South Wales. Live and exclusive on the home of big-time sport, Channel 9.
And Carlaw. The back three is the North Queensland Cowboys trio. Matt Bowen begins in the run on side for the first time. Ty Williams and Matt Singh, the most experienced player on show tonight, on the flanks. The centre pairing, very dependable. Sean Berrigan is actually the leading try scorer in the NRL at the moment. He partners Paul Bowman. At 5'8", prime for a big game, no doubt, the captain, Darren Lockyer. He's outside Jonathan Thurston, who was the players' player in Game 1 for Queensland. Now, a change at the back of the scrum. Tony Carroll comes in off the bench. Jersey number 17, Michael Crocker and Brad Thorne, the second rowers. And up front for the Maroons, Danny Nutley makes his Origin debut, the 4th oldest player to do so. Cameron Smith at hooker, Petro Sivanasiva, the other front rower. So the change on the bench sees Chris Flannery go back to partner Ben Ross alongside Corey Parker and Ashley Harrison, coached by Michael Hagan. Now, earlier, Tinicello at fullback. In my opinion, he's been the player of the series to date. Matt King and Tamana Tahu, recalled, played Game 2 last year, in fact scored 2 tries. The centres tonight for the Blues, the light stepping Mark Gasnier and his Dragons teammate Matt Cooper. At 5'8", Braithen Astor, playing undoubtedly the best football of his career, the halfback champion Andrew Johns. It is a great back row for New South Wales. Ben Kennedy locks the scrum, Nathan Hindmarsh and Craig Fitzgibbon, the second rowers. And up front tonight, Luke Bailey, Danny Badiris, he's the captain, who is under some doubt. We've got a crook toe, we'll keep an eye on that through the course of the match, and Jason Riles. And the bench tonight, Craig Gower and Steve Simpson. Gower coming back into the side. He wasn't there for the first 2 matches. And the other 2 interchange players, Andrew Ryan and Steve Menzies. Craig Gower, of course, will cover that spot of Danny Badiris, who there must...
Live on 9. Going to countries overseas, we welcome you. The reception waits for the Blues. A reception like that. Negative is the word. Johns dancing around, seemingly oblivious to the fact that he and his teammates, as far as the crowd's concerned, are greatly outnumbered for fans. This will be different. The number 2 player in the world, Lockyer, leads Queensland out. Now that's positive. They haven't won a series decider at Suncorp since Wally Lewis's final match in 1991. Yes, they've won at ANZ with Alan Langer since then. Danny Nutley on debut. Oldest Queenslander on ground, 4th oldest player ever to debut. Late change for the Blues, Simpson for Bailey. Well, there's the man about whom one of several questions are being asked. Will Johns dominate like he did in Origin 2, or will he be taken out like some are suggesting? Will the departure of Queensland from sticking with the tried and tested players of past years, by making this gamble, will it rebound? Will it blow up in their face? Simpkins is the referee. He had Origin 1. He had the last Origin of last year. Captain Badeiras. Will he get the journey? Will Tony Carroll get the journey? The countdown is on. Queensland have kicked off the 12th decider. The end of the 24th series is underway. Blues ball, first use. Riles, Simpson, hit hard by Queensland. 20-metre line, Carroll involved. Kennedy. 12th Origin game. Has only lost twice. Badeiras right for Fitzgibbon. Running at Lockyer. 30-metre line for the Blues. Anesta. Bowen, first touch. And driven back, the diminutive cowboy from North Queensland. First run-on game in an Origin for Matt Bowen. Ty Williams swarmed over by Simpson and Kennedy. Now Sivanasiva. Almost to halfway. Tackled by Johns and Fitzgibbon. Blindside for Michael Crocker. Met by Fitzgibbon and Gasnier. Gasnier right side defence. Smith for Nutley. First touch for this rather oldish debut player. Lockyer puts a kick in. He was pulled back. There might be a penalty here. Simpkins says play on. Advantage Queensland. Smith, Thurston, 10 metres out from the line. Queensland awards the Caxton Street end of the ground. Tony, TBA Carroll, 2 metres out from the line. Smith again, on the bounce for Lockyer. Fires it back for Bowen. Bowen dummies a couple of times.
Try that again, hold.
Still 8 metres away. Williams, Crocker, Sivanasiva, 10 out. Riles and Simpson, the front rowers, make the tackle. Cameron Smith, the Melbourneian, is almost over. 5 gone for the Queenslanders. Crocker, Thurston, little kick. They nearly got to regather. This will be Queensland's ball. 6 more tackles. A disastrous start for the Blues. Bowen. 3 metres out from the line. Again tackled by Riles. Thurston for Thorne. Taken by Kennedy and Hindmarsh. Smith, Sivanasiva. Lockyer. Crocker's on his outside. Again, it's with the Maroons. He doesn't restart it though. Berrigan. Held by Simpson. Cameron Smith. Short ball for Nutley. And the Shark is tackled. 3 away on 5. Smith, long ball. Bowen kicks to the right wing for Singh. Ball is bouncing around.
Line drop out.
Line drop out is the call.
What pressure. Unbelievable pressure to start this game. Danny Badeiras blowing up. He wants the referee to go to the video ref to see that it was knocked out by Queensland. Early on, New South Wales have got reinforcement that you do not rush on Darren Lockyer, and big problem here for New South Wales with Andrew Johns down receiving attention. He had a swollen knee leading into this game. That's either not a good sign or it's a bit of gamesmanship to give his players a rest.
Well, I certainly hope it's the latter. Sensational start, typical Queensland start. Go back and look at a lot of State of Origins where their first kick option of the game will be a short one. Lockyer ran the little grubber kick. Since then, they've had 2 6-agains. They're coming back for a third effort. He looks all right, Andrew Johns. I think a bit of experience there. His team was asked to soak up a lot of juice in that early exchange. Here they come again, the Maroons.
Gow was getting ready on the sideline. Line drop out was long. Nutley, 38 metres away. Sivanasiva now. Good tackle by Riles. Simpson involved again. Thurston for Lockyer. Back. They're getting deep ball to Bowen. They're giving the number 1 for Queensland a mile of room to work in. They're keeping him deep. Lockyer for Sivanasiva again. Fitzgibbon struggles, makes the tackle.
Bring it back.
With Johns and Badeiros. Smith again. Thurston again. Lockyer steps up its right.
Move it.
Crowd roars. They're 15 away again. Thurston. Here's Fawn. Throws it out to Bowman.
6 again.
6 more tackles again.
Tamana Tahu went for the intercept.
This is incredible. Singh. Surely they must score, the Maroons. Thurston. Sivanasiva. Hindmarsh throws himself at him. Smith. 2 away. Kennedy and Riles, the tacklers. Thurston. Lockyer. Leaves Crocker out. Beautiful pick-up by Bowen. Dived on and retrieved for Queensland by Berrigan. Lockyer again. Carroll again.
Great tackle.
5 tackles gone again. Smith for Lockyer. He's so busy. Now Minicello. He's away. Minicello's over halfway. Bowen is chasing him. Minicello at the 20-metre line. Tackled by Bowen. Sensational start. And a penalty goes to the Blues.
There was a flop from Matt Singh. Paul Simpkins getting the second tackler in. That defence from New South Wales is probably as good as you have ever seen in Origin football. 6, 7 sets of 6 against them, and all of a sudden Minicello picks the kick from Darren Lockyer up around his bootlaces and races 80 metres.
And the captain there, Danny Badeiros, applauding his troops. I think the player should have been sent to the sin bin. Simpkins very quick with the whistle there. The Blues had a lot of troops out to the right and no Maroons defence. Now they're set.
Riles it was who took it ahead. Now Hindmarsh fending off one, bumping off another. Now they converge. The brothers in arms of Queensland forcing the New South Welshman Hindmarsh back. They play it. They're 18 out for Anasta. Was there a hint of a high shot? 11 out, centre ground. Running towards the Milton Road end of the ground. It's with Badeiros and then Johns. Long ball finding Gaznia. Then it's come back for Anasta. Anasta drifting across but losing ground. Sivanasiva and Carroll. In fact, it was Carroll and Thurston as it's played by Anasta now. And gone to Kennedy, and Kennedy looking to thrust the ball back and down. 15 out from the line. Sloppy play the ball. And it's a penalty. There was a rake in there. Well, you'd think with the pressure they've been under, they would take a kick for goal simply to get some oxygen back in the tanks.
They probably will kick for goal, as you say. It would take a brave man to tap and run now after all the energy they've expended. It's been brilliant stuff from the Blues and sensational attack from the Maroons. Don't worry, they asked plenty of questions. Look where Matty Bowen's come from. Mark that down at the end of the game, whether that's going to make a difference. Origin's not only about scoring tries, it's about saving tries. The little bloke came from the far side of the field to pick up Minicello. Mark that down. We could be talking about that at the end of the game.
I mentioned Tamana Tahu going for an intercept. He actually batted down a pass from Brad Thorne, which if it hadn't gone over his head, would have seen Queensland score in the far corner. Craig Fitzgibbon with the responsibility of goal kicking, a great percentage.
18 in, similar margin out, flags up, first points in the game. They go to the Blues. They lead after 9 minutes, 2-0.
Well, this is incredible. The crowd is trying to catch its breath here. The Blues fans are cheering. For the first 5 or 6 minutes, they were just there biting their nails. It's been an outstanding start by both sides. And look, when you're coaching a team that goes through so many sets of 6 in defence early in the game without conceding a try, you know one thing. You know your team's on the money. You know they've turned up the plate.
Well, I think it's the most explosive start I've seen to a State of Origin. Here's Riles. I've never seen pressure as sustained like that so early in a game, with the pressure all on the one side. Hindmarsh out towards 20. 74 times they've played for 36 and 36. 100 hours of football. 100 hours, and New South Wales has scored 11 more points than Queensland. This is Jason Riles, who's had a good start to this game. He got criticised roundly after one. Here's Fitzgibbon now, hammering it back into the markers. Crocker there to make the tackle with Smith. It's a smaller Queensland pack, it's a lighter pack. They've chosen for mobility and more lateral movement. Here's Williams, in running into Kennedy, and then Badiris, and they drive him down and back.
Yeah, the captain has started very strongly in defence. Danny Badiris, also noticeable that Braithen Astor is getting in a position to kick the football, taking some pressure off the Johns kicking game early in this match.
Play by Matt Singh, minus the headgear at the moment. 24th Origin game for one of the great warriors of legend football, played by Thorne. Ball served up for Nutley, who's the 4th oldest player to debut at Origin level. Beatson at 35, of course, holds the mantle. Lockyer driving it down to Minicello. Minicello making that run just a few minutes ago of some 60 metres. It may well have been a match-saving tackle from Matt Bowen. It may be one of those Scott Sattler tackles. Who knows? That is King. Tahu back at Origin. He has scored 6 times in Origin football to Mana.
That's just from 7 matches, Ray. He's got a strike rate as they go to short side again. Johns, a short ball to Hindmarsh on the halfway line.
Taken by Thurston right on halfway. Over for Riles again, and he's gone inside the 40-metre line. He's playing his skin off at the moment, Jason Riles. Now with Johns, and Johns puts up a high kick, and Nasta's gone through, and up goes Bowen. Up above the pack. And you people in Melbourne seeing it quite early tonight. That was Kazali stuff for you early in the game. Now for Crocker. 25 metres out from his line. One of the great sports events of Australia. State of Origin football, but they don't get any more exciting than a decider. Here's Nutley passing it, finding Williams, doing the same, finding Smith. Talking of Melbourne, he plays for the Storm down there. Both he and Matt King. Billy Slater missing the 3rd Origin side. As it goes to the boot of Thurston, he puts it down into that eastern corner. The northeastern corner. Now Minicello is pointing.
Yeah, it was outside the 40, and it has gone into just in the field of play, so it will be a New South Wales scrum feed. Jonathan Thurston will be a little bit unhappy that he didn't get himself in a better position to kick by being inside his own 40.
I think Minicello was of the opinion the touch, he might have thought that it touched that corner post, which reminds me, of course, that is part of the in-goal area, and that is quite different. That would then have brought it out to the 20 for the restart, tapped by the Blues. 10-metre line, though, for New South Wales, who lead 2-0. They got there after 9 minutes, but they took an absolute battering. They took that many sets of 6 and repelled them. It wasn't funny. In fact, it was incredible. Fitzgibbon underneath, Smith in 9, Crocker's in 11. Badiris passes for Kennedy, and Kennedy is taken by Lockyer. Together there with Berrigan, the little number 3 centre defending left side. As Johns Spirals it down towards Matt Singh. Singh coming back outside his 30-metre line, running into Hindmarsh and Cooper.
And if we have a look at the New South Wales bench, what that initial flurry from Queensland has done is stopped New South Wales from playing with any great width early in this game. They took a lot of petrol out of the tank. New South Wales at the moment just getting their game back together, controlling possession.
Brad Thorne now.
Stand now.
Got himself a try in that second game in Sydney. Here's Crocker. And the ball played quickly back to Cameron Smith. He's got Williams with him. Down 28 metres out from the line. The 15, Simpson, has worked tirelessly as well. Berrigan to the right, the kick. Then a little checkered passage. Touch judges don't say anything. Referee says nothing. Minicello's with the ball. And a tackle over there made by Bowman.
Hold, Danny. Go.
Playing in his 12th origin, Paul Bowman. Cooper hammered down. Sivanasiva and Thorne, you couldn't pick two bigger men. As Riles tries to thunder out, and look at them, they're driving and driving. He thrusts the ball back in desperation, and Gaznia has to clean up.
Great defence there from the Maroons, and an indication to the Blues that they can't send men one out. Maybe tiredness has meant they can't support each other. They should have had someone right alongside. Kennedy comes in, Fitzgibbon comes in too late, and it was nearly disastrous.
And a few words of encouragement from that man, Danny Nutley, to his opposing front rower, Jason Riles. Just a little reminder.
Behind you.
Just looking at the early stages of this game, Rabbits, you can see how they're going to use Matty Bowen. Matty Bowen's been coming on in game 1 and game 2 as a hooker, and I reckon that has stifled his attacking ability. In those first few sets of 6, they were throwing the ball out wide to him. He's a ball player. Billy Slater was someone who took advantage of opportunities. This fella can create them.
Nutley driving ahead. He's taken to Origin football like the hand to the glove. Sivanasiva, 25 out from the line, centre of the ground. They're attacking the New South Wales end. Held by Riles and Simpson. Left for Lockyer. Back on the inside for Berrigan. A combination that works so well for Brisbane. Lockyer, Berrigan. They're 12 out. They're 15 out. Thurston to the 10-metre line for Carroll, who was used on Sunday in the Broncos game, but then named on the Origin side. Now for Bowen. Throws the dummy and tries to split between the forwards, but Fitzgibbon and Hindmarsh close the gap on 5. Thurston puts in a kick, and it's dead. It's dead. And 2-0 remains the score. New South Wales in front.
And a lot of New South Wales players, as soon as that ball went over the dead ball line, the hands went down onto the haunches. Luke Bailey coming on now for Jason Riles, maybe a little bit earlier than Ricky Stewart would have liked. He may be forced to make another couple of interchange plays with the fatigue out there at the moment.
Bailey was meant to get that ball, but it finished up with Hindmarsh, so he was very alert. Let's go to Andrew Voss on the sideline.
Yeah, Ray, you talk about the players keeping up the pace. What about the crowd? They've been in it from the opening 30 seconds of this match. Riles the first man off. You can expect Steve Simpson to be the second shortly.
Fitzgibbon. This is a good run by Fitzgibbon. 5 metres short of halfway. Played there by the Rooster. It's come from Johns back on the inside for his Newcastle teammate Simpson, but he ran into Thorne and Nutley. It was a real don't argue. Johns gets a kick in. Crocker takes him down. It wasn't late, it was legitimate. Now Bowen, he gives the ball away to Williams, his Cowboys teammate. The back three all from the Cowboys. And now it's with Lockyer. He gets it away to Singh. Singh, 25 out, 30 out, taken down by Kennedy. 2-0 in favour of the Blues, and a groan. They're looking for a penalty for the Queensland side.
Should have been a penalty, Ray. It was a second effort from Ben Kennedy, not needed, as Darren Lockyer, first receiver, inside ball to Carroll.
Lockyer, the number 6 for Queensland. And I emphasise that just for some new people watching our telecast. He is regarded as the number 2 player in the world today. He wears the number 6, the maroon jumper, and he's the man that sees most of the football. Smith with the upside down 6 on his back from Melbourne, kicks it through. Minicello brings it back, and he does well. In fact, Anthony thought surrender's the best way out of this, and Crocker claimed him in the tackle. Gasnier gives it. Matt King runs the ball, runs it at Smith, his Melbourne teammate. And then Nutley comes over the top and they clamp him. About 15 out from the New South Wales line. It is with Gasnier, and Thorne takes him to ground. Lockyer got a kick on the head accidentally. It's played back though, and it's gone over to Bailey. Bailey comes to Seven Asiva. Seven Asiva went in hard. Bailey got some more yards though before Carroll hammered him down to the ground. Tahu, Carroll's on top of him. He beats him. Tahu looks for an opening. Crocker's there, and they take him down, he and Nutley, just outside the 40-metre line.
Last tackle, New South Wales. Andrew Ryan has actually come on for Craig Fitzgibbon, and a fortunate penalty. Danny Nutley ruled to have played at the football. That is manna from heaven, getting a penalty in this situation on the last.
Yeah, tackle 5.
In fact, it's Michael Crocker.
Michael Crocker just tried to pull one out of the referee's eyes. The referee was awake to it. And the Blues come down and start another set of 6 in enemy territory. They've been lethal from here at different times.
Here's a strong run by Ryan. New South Wales going for their second interchange. The Canterbury captain is on, Andrew Ryan. Bailey.
2, stand.
17 away from the Maroons line. Some of them are starting to look a little bit tired too now. John steps. Johns is hammered from behind by Seven Asiva. Play back to Medeiros. They go to the left for Anasta. Anasta's pass goes to ground. And he's ruled knock on against Queensland, so it's loose head and feed to the Blues. And it came off the hand of Jonathan Thurston.
And he had to play at that. They were short. The Blues had worked the play to the centre of the field. They expected the long ball from Johns. Johns ran it, got the quick play of the ball, and Anasta took over the ball playing. Ross comes to the sideline. Some fresh relief for the Maroon forwards.
And just keep an eye on Anthony Minicello, his inside runs, especially off the number 7. Gasnier from the scrum wing.
Gasnier taken down by Lockyer. Anasta out from dummy half. The big man has a go. He's pulled down a metre out from the line. He will play it back to his Canterbury teammate Andrew Ryan. Long ball finding Johns. Johns, second man play. Minicello taken down. Lovely tackle. Jonathan Thurston snapping his legs. 15 out from the Queensland line. Hindmarsh to the centre of the ground. A fend and then a crawl. Look at him go along on the knees. It takes him to 3 metres from the line. Johns is dangerous. Anasta's over. Ladies and gentlemen, there is the first try. Scored by Braith Anasta. The Blues 6, Queensland no score. State of Origin 3, the decider. Decider number 12, in fact. Anasta gets the try, his second at Origin level. It's 6-0 in favour of the Blues.
And it is a scoreline at odds with what we've seen at the beginning of this game. Just the second pump that the hold of Andrew Johns just committed a couple of defenders, and Braith Anasta, that man on screen who plays like another back rower, was able to get to Michael Crocker close to the line. Crocker going low, was never going to keep the man off. And Andrew Johns with Craig Fitzgibbon on the sideline looking to convert, and does so.
Johns taking the scoreline out to 8-0 in favour of the Blues. Andrew Voss sideline.
And with the on the sideline, Matty Johns, after an extraordinary opening quarter to this match.
Yeah, if you remember in game 2, Vossi, the New South Wales side moved the ball around, trying to fatigue the Queensland forwards. Done a great job. They haven't been able to do that because they've been fatigued. Hard to attack when you're fatigued. But I'm watching them, things are starting to creep open. I'll tell you another thing they're doing. They're going to attack Darren Lockyer in defence without a shadow of a doubt.
And just a quick word, Ray, on Steve Simpson, a cork above his knee. Just a little problem for the Blues forward.
I like those big 5'8" like Trent Barrett and Braith Anasta when they play with Andrew Johns. It's like another running forward. They don't have to do some ball playing when the great man goes to the line with it. And if Queensland keeps sitting on their heels on the try line, Johns and Anasta will come after them all night.
Tahu then, 20 metres out from his own line. Andrew Ryan losing the ball, jolting tackle. Put it down to the Panther.
0.
Ben Ross from Penrith made the tackle with Cameron Smith. Michael Crocker looking for a penalty. Thorne taking it up towards the 20-metre line, but Kennedy and Bailey are there. Medeiros in the 9, a 3-man tackle from the Blues. 3 changes by Stewart, the New South Wales coach.
2.
Nutley, 12 away from the line. Down 8-0 at the moment, Queensland. It's gone to Lockyer. Now he goes back deep again to Bowen. Bowen floats it inside to Berrigan. Berrigan taken by Menzies. Menzies to Marker very quickly. Bowen gets it away to Lockyer. Lockyer away to Carroll, and Carroll is taken down by Kennedy. Kennedy and Badiris tackling heavily in the centre of the ground. Now it's away for Lockyer. It's gone out wide for Brad Thorne. Thorne is able to unload the ball. How, I don't know. It's back with Lockyer. Now it's gone to Ben Ross. He beat Andrew Johns. He got the ball to Jonathan Thurston. He's tackled by Danny Badiris. 10 away from the line, centre of the ground. Here's Smith, and he puts a kick in. The rebound is okay for Andrew Ryan.
Hey. Well, in Queensland crowd, they're claiming that the man who caught the football was offside. As Nathan Hindmarsh rolls it out over the 20. It's a good run, carrying defenders.
Hindmarsh plays it on the 20-metre line. Gasnier is with the ball, and he's with two defenders.
He had to be offside, didn't he? I mean, I think they're entitled to blow up. Ryan had to be in front of the player who played at the ball.
Move! Back up!
Menzies. And now it's with Anasta's right boot. And it's going over towards the sideline.
Yeah, it's a good tactic, good tactic. They didn't kick on the last. The winger hadn't dropped all the way back. And finding the sideline, not a bad result in this.
All right, 10 metres.
There's the kick.
Well, the bloke that actually kicked it is this fellow, Andrew Ryan, so I don't think he got it wrong at all.
But it came off Bailey. It went back onto Bailey and came back to him. There's no doubt that Bailey touched the ball. I think Queensland are going to try something a little different than that long, deep pass to Matty Bowen.
Out.
The athleticism in the New South Wales backs is handling that play. Probably need to go at them a little bit more, some inside passes.
Here's Corey Parker on. Parker playing in his third Origin game. Member of the Brisbane Broncos, who've supplied 6 players to this Queensland side. Smith a dummy half. They're approaching halfway. Michael Crocker running with the ball out in 2 hands, appearing as though he might pass on the inside, but he takes the tackle of Bailey and Ryan. Smith onto Thurston, then to Lockyer. Lockyer to Carroll, and bad bounced off him. Got a touch with the hands. It's a knock-on. Advantage New South Wales. And play by Cooper. 40 metres out from their own line. They reach halfway with a minimum of exertion as Kennedy takes it a couple of metres into Queensland's area. He plays it back, and it goes from Badiris. It goes to Hindmarsh, who beats the tackle of Thurston, but he can't beat Bowman. Nobody can beat Bowman. That right side is almost impregnable with Bowman and Singh guarding down there. Here's Bailey pulled down from behind by Tony Carroll. 8-0 in favour of the Blues. The Wizard Blues in front as they go inside the 20-metre line again. They're 15 out from the line, played by Ryan. Now Johns goes back to Ryan. He wasn't ready for it, but he took it. 5 and last against New South Wales. Ryan playing the ball. Badiris, Johns, chances the kick. There's plenty of chasers. They got a try out of it. There's a try for Gasnier. 4 Origin matches, 4 tries for Mark Gasnier. New South Wales 12. And back live at the State of Origin. Live from an absolutely packed stadium here at Suncorp, and Mark Gasnier gets his 4th Origin try.
Yeah, the wide kick was always going to be a ploy used by New South Wales. They've got big men in their centres and on their wings up against smaller opposition, and it's a lottery when the ball goes up. Steve Menzies, Mark Gasnier flying above the smaller Sean Berrigan, and Gasnier gets the ball down. He gets it down as the coach goes up.
I guess you've got to ask the question, watching the replay, did it at any time touch the fingers of Menzies, because Gasnier was in front of Menzies. Andrew Voss, sideline.
Did you see that reaction from Ricky Stewart as Andrew Johns moves in? Incredible stuff from the coach so early.
Johns has picked it up where he left it in Origin 2. That's 2 tries, and he's played a massive part.
I can tell you why the coach is very excited. It's because the kick was deliberate. Ty Williams is pretty good under the high ball, but he's isolated the shorter Sean Berrigan with the taller Mark Gasnier and Steve Menzies. They didn't kick it as far as Ty Williams. They kicked it to Berrigan, knowing they would get over the top of him. That's a great ploy. The short bomb rather than the long one we see to the winger.
Sometimes enduring an awful start can be a blessing in disguise. Now, New South Wales, they've answered the challenge. They've had everything thrown at them. The question now is Queensland. looking up with all the position they've had, seeing 14-0 against them, how they react. The question is now being thrown the other way.
Tahu, 15 away from his own line. Badiris, scoreline blowing out. 14-0 in favour of New South Wales. With Ryan coming across on an angled run, running at Lockyer. Running across and then looking at his opponent before he saw Lockyer, and then he said, that's it, I'll aim it at him. Kennedy goes down. High tackle by Crocker.
Stay out. Stay out.
They become a little bit restless.
Well, there's an accusation from the Queenslanders there that Kennedy took a dive.
Walk away. Luke.
Kennedy's still on the ground, but they actually pulled at him while he was on the ground, which is very dangerous if he has sustained an injury. There's Crocker, a slap across the shoulder. Kennedy goes down and will stay there.
I don't know about a one across the shoulder. That, to me, has got him right on the chin. And Ben Kennedy is not the kind of player who stays down.
That's dangerous.
Let's have a listen to this.
Where's Mick Crocker? Mick. Okay, guys, right now you blokes. Walk away. Hey, you might have been wrong-footed. Contact was still ahead. Ben? When a player's on the ground, you don't take it in your own hands, all right? Hang on. He's down there injured. You're only going to risk further damage, all right? The tackle's on report.
So Michael Crocker's tackle is on report, but Kennedy back on his feet. He doesn't seem too bad. It's an area of the game that has been under the scrutiny of many judges, many coaches. Go down, stay down, let the video referee have a look at it so he can tip to his centre man.
And as Menzies takes it inside the 40, an interesting change about to be made by New South Wales with Craig Gower coming to the sideline. We'll see who he replaces as Bailey goes crossfield, picks up 8 metres, gets the ball away to Badiris.
Badiris now working down the short side. Flannery is on for Queensland over there, making the tackle. Just outside the 20-metre line, it's come away to Anasta. The runaround was on. Johns took the tackle. Michael Crocker has sorted him out again, but Anasta was able to run around, and the ball has gone to Minicello. He plays the ball 25 metres out from the Queensland line. Again, it's Anasta running at Sivan, Asiva and Ross this time. They take him to ground. Centre of the ground, 18 out. Menzies the dummy half waiting. Johns now off his right foot a couple of times, takes the tackle. Minicello, here is King, and Matthew King has gone in. New South Wales have scored another try. The boy from Melbourne Storm has scored, and the Blues lead by 18-0.
And again, the ability for Andrew Johns to keep the football alive. It attracted the winger. The winger's 10 metres away, but he came in off his wing when he didn't need to. Johns gets the football away. Now, as we freeze it there, you can see that this man has come in a little bit and opened up the gap. As it unfolds, it is 3 against 2, but the inside men were covered. I just don't think that Ty Williams thought there was enough room for Matt King to go by. But the big Melbourne winger, he's tough to stop from that distance. There, Minicello attracts 2 defenders. There was an inside dummy runner from New South Wales as well. And Matt King has to avoid the flying count, Anthony Minicello, to get the ball down.
First try in Origin football to Matt King. He was serving drinks, wondering when he might get a chance. He was playing football in the park and then gave it a shot. And has risen to the highest level of rugby league. Now he gets his first Origin try in his 3rd game. The Blues, at the moment, on fire, ripping them apart at Suncorp Stadium. They've taken the crowd very much out of it. Johns, 7 in and 21 out from the western side. Hits it. It's not there. It's gone wide. No change to that score, made possible by King, who's on camera. 33rd minute, 18-0, New South Wales over Queensland.
And he's going to keep scoring more Origin tries, playing outside the likes of Andrew Johns, Braith Anasta, and Anthony Minichiello. The problem for the Queensland defence is what I highlighted after game 2. They stand on their heels on their goal line. They won't back themselves to advance and put pressure on the ball players. If you stand flat-footed on your try line and you've got big blokes like Gaznia, King and Nasta running off Andrew Johns, they're going to carve you up. You've got to get off your line.
So Gower is on. He was the dummy half on that occasion. So the captain, Danny Medeiros, has gone to a rest period as Gower makes a very good run. A run of about 17 or 18 metres, ending inside his own 40-metre line. Johns gets a kick in, touched in flight. Don't know that he actually played at the ball. Bowen is back there to retrieve. And it's played by Matt Singh eventually. Here's Bowman. Ryan and Menzies making this tackle. Centre ground, 25 away from the Queensland line. That is Ben Ross.
They're in all sorts of trouble, Queensland. Look at them behind to play the ball here. You can throw a blanket over the top of them. There's going to be no spread coming out of trouble. The Blues will just shoulder up and start bashing away at the one-out runners.
Seven receiver played the ball. Flannery with fresh legs gets it away to Berrigan, and Berrigan is taken down by Menzies and Gaznia and Johns, and then Smith passes away to Bowen. Bowen with a little kick and a regather and a beautiful scoop off the ground, then to Lockyer, and then a superb tackle by Kennedy. Nice tackle and a little scuffle up between Lockyer and Kennedy. It's Kennedy's ball, turnover.
If the score's 0-0, that's a penalty. If the score is 0-0, that's a penalty. 18-0, he's going to give Queensland a break on that one.
King, 8 metres short of halfway, playing it back to the Penrith captain, Craig Gower. Kennedy just into Maroon's territory. Andrew sideline.
Yeah, that little chip from Matt Bowen, just a little reminder there's still points in this Queensland team. 6 weeks ago, we watched Queensland race to a 19-0 lead. In fact, it took New South Wales 52 minutes to get on the board.
Gower starting a blindside move for the Blues. And there's Simpson back in the tunnel. As it comes away to Andrew Ryan, they've almost reached the 20-metre line. Queensland's entered the park again. 15 metres in from the eastern grandstand to Johns, who's going for the kick again. Going out for the tall men. King is under it. Tried to bat the ball in. He did that, but it's gone into touch. The Blues fans that are here went up, but all in vain.
It's amazing how momentum changes in a game of football. After 15 minutes, you'd have said, well, New South Wales can't wait to get to half-time. I don't think they want the break now. I think that they know that they've got Queensland down where they want them. They've got the foot on the neck. They don't want a break. They don't want Queensland a chance to regroup.
Here's Ty Williams bringing it out to the 20-metre line now. 18-0 is the score. And should you have just joined us, Andrew Johns really has picked up this game as he did in the first or the second in Sydney, and he's carried it on, combining with Anasta, putting a kick up delightfully for Gaznia. So the kick down the ground is from Smith, and it's a deep kick. Minichiello was standing quite shallow. He'll leave this with Tahu. Away he goes from the northern grandstand end, and he's held about 8 metres out from his own line. 11 series have been to a decider. The Maroons have won 6 of them. The Blues only 3. Here's Gaznia. Big moment for him again. Every Origin match he's been involved in, there's been a try. And of course he carries that massive rugby league name through his career. The nephew of Puff the Magic Dragon, as Kennedy brings it out towards the 30-metre line to be pulled down by Bowman. 18-0 as Gower gets in a kick from dummy half, something that he adds to the side. Not that Medeiros can't do it, but Gower is a craftsman of the tallest order. Bowen is 41 metres away from his line. Berrigan goes to Lockyer. Lockyer away to Williams. Williams running into blue jumpers, just waiting, praying. Waiting for their prey to come into the net. Here's Singh again with the ball. He will play the ball back for Cameron Smith. Then for Thurston, inside ball for the 15, that is Parker. And they're just on the New South Wales 40-metre line. And they're in the centre of the ground. Smith allowed to run. That's about the first time the Blues have really been a little bit standoffish. 5 gone as Lockyer goes away. Left foot kick. Still on the ground. Still a chance. Hindmarsh has got it, though. And Hindmarsh picks up the advantage for New South Wales. Minicello brings it away to the 20-metre line. He's pulled down and tackled again by Bowman on the right side with Smith. Ball back for Menzies now. Menzies playing his 17th Origin game tonight. Bailey.
He's got a big job to do at half-time, Michael Hagan. He's not only got to lift spirits, he's got to look at the things that are doing them wrong in this half. Their defence is not advancing on New South Wales. They've got to back their ability to get off the line and try and put some pressure on the ball players. Like kangaroos in the spotlight out there. They're stunned by this attack. He's got to lift their confidence.
Johns with a kick straight down the ground, which was hurried by Sivanasiva's attempted charge down. Something that Stephen Price did to Brett Camorley in the first game here, which was won in extra time by Queensland. And of course they've missed Stephen Price ever since then. But to extinguish Andrew Johns, you've got to cut down his time. It's easy to say, but it's very difficult to do. In fact, it's almost proving impossible to do. Bowen is tackled. Kennedy, he's toiled in the 13 jumper for the Blues as it goes away for Thurston to try and split through, but Menzies and Anasta it was who made the tackle jointly to the boot of Smith, and he kicks it diagonally down the ground. It just dribbles around, but King got a good bounce eventually. They try to force him back into the in goal. Another joins in, Berrigan, but King will play the ball. Got some assistance eventually from Minicello. Now Gaznia off his own line and out to the 10 metres line. An unbelievably hectic start to the game where Queensland had repeat set after repeat set. And those of us that watch rugby league regularly were absolutely certain that Queensland were going to score, but the Blues miraculously got out of that. And then they started piling the points on. Try after try followed. Anasta, Gaznia, King, and the Blues go to a half-time break of 18 points to nil. 18-0 in favour of New South Wales over Queensland. That is the score at Suncorp Stadium on the National 9 Network. We come back on the other side of this.
And amazingly, 54% of possession has gone for New South Wales. It was nothing like it the first 10 minutes.
Great start for Queensland, but they didn't capitalise on the scoreboard, Wally, and that could hurt them. Sometimes getting a good start like that and you don't get anything out of it hurts you at the back end.
Yeah, that's Andrew Johns leading them out. Danny Badiris back on the bench. I take it in rest time. He certainly was in doubt for the game, but let's suppose at the moment that he's only taking a break. And Johns, who has captained New South Wales 6 times, is leading the Blues at the moment. Kennedy's been strong, hasn't he? The big number 13 for the Blues. Well, they picked a lighter side, as I said in commentary, to give them more mobility. I thought that would lead to a more expansive game. I thought it would certainly help them in lateral defence. But at the end of the day, it's, if you like, blowing up in their face. They're 18-0 down at half-time, the 4X Maroons. The question is, can they come back? And I've been around this game too long to even dare say they can't, because you never know when you got them beat. Badiris on the bench. The try by Coyne. The try by Carl. The things they do. The hunger and the passion. It will never die for Queensland. So 18-0 down, you can't...
Ben Ross didn't come out of it too well either.
Sivanasiva then. As two Panthers come together. Michael Crocker is tackled there. Gower taking a part.
I was just about to say their teammates too. Coach Johnny Lang will be sitting at home saying, what are you doing, boys? It's Origin though, mate against mate.
Parker. Thurston driving it off the right foot. I think he was just outside the 40-metre line. Tahu carries it back. And that expression, a supposed expression from John Lang that Gus Gould was supposing, well, that's probably the main reason why people thought this would not work 25 years ago. How they were wrong. Mate against mate. It has worked. Bailey now. 35 away from his own line. Gower's the dummy half. Buderus is on the bench. Hindmarsh tries to beat them, but Parker has got him with Michael Crocker. Now Anasta, who got the first try of the night. Bowen fielded it. Singh takes it back, but he runs into the undeniable shoulder of Anasta. For Bowen, again a dummy half to pass to Bowman. Even early on in the second half, some of the Queensland forwards taking a while to get back to put their hand up. Here's Flannery, Andrew sideline.
And we're told that Michael Hagan's still very upbeat in the Queensland dressing room at half-time, telling his players to grind this one out, don't play the scoreboard. They've got one fresh man on the bench, still Ashley Harrison. Both teams made 4 interchanges the first half. And Craig Fitzgibbon, interesting to note, been off since the 20th minute.
Ben Ross now. Young Harrison, first South Sydney player to play Origin for Queensland since Julian O'Neill in 19... Oh, bouncing ball, danger! Not for Cooper.
Well, is that a sign for New South Wales? There were 4 Queensland jerseys, 1 New South Wales jersey, and it bounced straight into the arms of Matt Cooper. Anthony Minicello had no idea where that ball was coming down, as Matt King scoots out of dummy half and picks up some good tough metres.
Sivanasiva low. Crocker over the top. Kennedy, the ball carrier, running it at Smith, the hooker. Driving over the top is Parker with Flannery. Kennedy on the 40-metre line. Gower, dummy half run. Catch and pass, Johns. Catch and pass, Hindmarsh. Good hands, Menzies. Hindmarsh then to the boot of Johns. And Johns rakes it back a little bit. And Bowen brings it away after the bounce, but he's run into Anasta and Bailey and Ryan. And he's inside his own 20-metre line. As Singh gives Berrigan a chance to make a break. Bailey closes it with Hindmarsh. Singh passes for Ross. Ross taken by Menzies. Low, Johns high. So to the centre of the ground they come, with Smith and Thurston combining with Lockyer, and Lockyer combining with Flannery, and Flannery turning it for Bowman. Bowman's on the halfway line. He's almost on the western touch line. Tackled by Matt Cooper. Flannery in field for Lockyer, who decides to use the short side. He took Matt Singh with him, but the defence went up and took the man with the ball. They give it back for Thurston. Thurston puts a kick up. They're all onside in maroon jumpers, and it's taken over there by Matt King. One of the 3 try scorers inside his own 20-metre line. Gasnier, another of the try scorers. He's taken inside the 30-metre line. And Bailey, he takes it out to the 40-metre line. 3 runs, 30 metres.
He's been good, Luke Bailey, since he come onto the field. Great idea to have him off the bench. He's really saved the Blues from that early onslaught, got him going forward.
You'd have to say that his St George Illawarra partner Riles was very good early when they were being bombarded from everywhere. So well done to those 2 Dragons in particular. As Anasta plays the ball, it's gone to the boot of Johns, and he fires it down across the dewy grass for Bowen to pick it up and give it to Singh. And Singh, oh, it's gone over the head of Lockyer. Race for the ball, Berrigan, and the sideline, and the tackle up. It'll be a Blues lose head and feed. Matt King making the tackle.
Well, Andrew Voss talked about Queensland not playing the scoreboard. That was very un-Queensland-like, throwing the football like that. They realised points need to be scored, but it was going from bad to worse. Every year, Origin, you discover that you make a find. To me, this Origin series has been Matt King.
Get it in. Out.
Chance again for the Blues here. As they come away to Gaznia. They go for a second man play. It's gone out to a Dragons teammate in Cooper. The centres 3 and 4. Tahu in 5. He's done well, Tahu, on his return. Gaznia. And he runs into Corey Parker. Petro Sivanasiva. Chris Flannery playing it back for Craig Garr. Gone on then for Johns. Johns. Michael Crocker. His assignment has been, you stay with him. Take him out if you can. Anasta for Gaznia. Gaznia for Anasta. And Thurston has got the New South Wales 5/8. 4 tackles can be heard from Simpkins. Gower off to the centre of the ground. Long ball out to Kennedy. They're trying to isolate Ty Williams again. Menzies is with the ball. 5 and last, so Johns will probably go for the big kick across the ground. Kennedy's with it. Here's Johns. No. Goes back to the blind side. King will score. Matt King scores his second try of the night. New South Wales have gone further in front. 22-0. Look at that smile. That is the smile of a young bloke having a hell of a good time at the highest level of rugby league.
He loves his footy, Matt King, and he's having a great time in representative football. And there's no doubt Queensland were expecting the wide kick across. They rushed up, looking to put pressure on Andrew Johns. Caught the football, propped. And a very simple conversion for the number 7. Could throw that one over.
24 points to 0 now. 24 big points to 0. Andrew sideline, 8 minutes down, second half.
Ray, you touched on the story of Matt King, the life story, if you like, early in the first half, how he was a barman at one stage. His football was going nothing. Let's go over some more stats. He was also a garbo at one stage. He only made his debut in round 24, 2003. Less than 2 years later, he's starring on the Origin stage. And right at the moment, if they picked an Australian side tonight, he'd be the first winger picked.
Yes, there's a couple of lovely stories like that. Matt King is on a winning side tonight. They haven't won yet, but they are winning. The other story that intrigued me was Danny Nutley. He was an apprentice baker from memory when Queensland, I think under Wally Lewis, won the 91 series. And he said, that's what I want to do. And here he is on his debut tonight. Just feeling the other side of agony and ecstasy. Kennedy, 38 metres out from his own line. Say what you like about the Johnses and those that have scored the tries. Here is Gaznia putting a kick away, but it's gone to ground. Ty Williams. I was going to say, but Kennedy, gee, he's been strong. The back row's been good. 24-0 in favour of New South Wales.
That was a low percentage play then by Mark Gaznia. He shouldn't let the scoreboard start affecting the seriousness of his football. They won't need much of an invitation, Queensland.
Thurston played it. Smith gave it. Bowen passed it. Flannery runs with it. Runs into traffic.
Market square.
20 metres out from the line. Even at 24-0, you still can't breathe easily. Thurston hammered.
Let him go.
Good tackle by Menzies. Lockyer now. Left foot kick. Looking for his runners, and they make a mistake. Now they make a mistake, the Queenslanders.
Yeah,
Double knock on.
If anything, then Matt Cooper might have got in the way. He flew high above Braithen Astor. They seem to get in each other way. Chris Flannery keeping the ball alive. Tahu able to make the interception. For Queensland, they do get a scrum feed as Braithen Astor receives some attention in front of his posts.
Well, it was a try if Thurston catches the ball. It was a dead set try. They had numbers over on the outside. All the New South Wales backs had come in for the bomb. Queensland need one, and they need it now.
Bowen.
Stand.
10 metres out, 15 in. This is Berrigan.
Movement.
Knows every blade of grass of Suncorp Stadium. Nutley back in his second session.
Hey, let him stay.
2 metres out from the line. Played back for Cameron Smith. Dummy, spirals. And then runs into Hindmarsh and Riles. Again for Bowen. And again for Thurston. Now to the big playmaker. And it's knocked on by Brad Thorne. He's done it a couple of times out wide.
The difference is the New South Wales defence comes off their line. They put pressure on you. Look how far they've come off their line. Compare that to Queensland, who sit back on their line and just try and tackle bigger men. It's the confidence of the New South Wales outside backs to back their size and get up and hit in tackles. And that puts the offence off.
In the tunnel.
You've got to get off your line. You've got to go up and put some pressure on them. New South Wales have done that. Queensland tried it a little bit. Back at the other end of the field, but it doesn't come natural to them.
Lock in. Falling.
Johns to feed. Cooper taking it away. Met by his opposite number, Bowman, together with Lockyer. 11 metres out now from the New South Wales line, and Riles is met by Croker. Croker and Nutley making the tackle. 15 out from the line. Riles, an inquisitive look, an inquiring look at the referee Simpkins as they reach the 20-metre line. And Danny Badiris, the captain, is about to come back in. But this man with the ball, Gower, has done his job. Craig Wing unavailable. This man had to come into the side, Craig Gower. Kennedy, flick pass, Anasta, lofted ball, Hindmarsh hit by the defence, got the ball away, Anasta on the run around. They're exuding confidence now.
Well, see, Queensland raced up and hit in defence there, but the bigger New South Wales backs just stood in the tackles, got the ball away. It's all about size in the backs. Great Queensland Origin sides had big backs. Same with New South Wales. Here's a chance.
Bowen has lost it, picked up by Johns, given away to Ryan. Ryan gets it away. Hindmarsh gets it on. Cooper gets it on. The winger will score. Tahu! Timana Tahu! He has scored his 7th Origin try. It is 28-0. The Blues over the Maroons. Welcome back. State of Origin, the decider. And coming to you from Suncorp, the Blues with this whopping lead now.
And Timana Tahu shows his ability getting over the try line. Just a miscommunication there. Matt Bowen was actually changing direction to the Ty Williams pass. And then there were blue jerseys everywhere. Ryan onto Hindmarsh. I think Cooper could have gone to the corner himself, but he gave it to Tahu. Jonathan Thurston arrived late. Queensland needed to be the side that scored the 2 tries immediately after half-time. And New South Wales have done that. And now the scoreline is really blowing out. Justified his selection back into the side. In fact, all the players brought in by the New South Wales selectors through the series have done a great job. Gower, as Ray pointed out, he's been wonderful in a short stint out there with Badiris on the sideline.
It's experience, Peter. You don't come here with rookies in deciders. The selectors did the right thing by the coach there. Brought people who'd been here before. This side, the New South Wales side, has been built up over the last 2 or 3 years. A lot of these fellas have played together for a couple of seasons now, albeit only 3 times a year. And I think it goes down as one of the greater New South Wales sides of all time. When you look at them individually, there's no weaknesses. They're all big, strong boys, skillful. Look at this fella.
Johns just out to the right of the uprights and barely with enough gusto. 55 minutes gone, 28-0 in favour of the Wizard Blues. Andrew Voss sideline.
Yeah, you can see Ashley Harrison now on. He would have dreamt about his debut. He didn't dream that it was going to be 28-0 when he got it start. For those statisticians watching at home tonight, they love a good stat. New South Wales in this, the 75th Origin game, have just edged ahead of Queensland in the overall tries scored. New South Wales now 204 tries to Queensland 203, and the 200th try tonight was scored by Braith Anasta.
And Andrew, New South Wales' biggest ever winning margin here in Queensland in an Origin is 28 points to 10. So they're in front of that at the moment. 25 years, and all of a sudden this team is out there in front of all that have gone before them.
Andrew Ryan playing the ball. Badiris unloading the ball. Fitzgibbon is with it. And the Queensland defence is there with Thurston, one of them, and Bowman another. Played back sloppily, and and I thought there might have been a knock on, but no, it's allowed to go. And New South Wales are on their 30-metre line as it's played, and Badiris gives it for Fitzgibbon. Fitzgibbon back in his second term. He loves to play much more football than the average footballer. As Anasta puts a kick in. The charge down was from Harrison. The mark is taken. They throw it around. Gasnier puts in a kick, but it's out on the full.
Over here. Where you are, Darren? Darren, where he is? Hold, go.
Queenslander with Carroll.
Domino, wide.
8 metres short of halfway.
Hold.
State of Origin has been such a great thing for 25 years, and the rivalry has been so outstanding, something that we've all loved and watched for a long time. I personally hope Queensland really bounce back here. Just something towards the end of the game to lift their heads, because I don't think anyone likes to do this to their opposition at Origin level. Even though the scoreboard is long, you still have great respect for your opposition, and these Queenslanders will not give up.
Danny Nutley. Cameron Smith. Thurston shows it to his captain, but takes the tackle 20 metres up. 5 gone now against Queensland. Smith for Lockyer. Lockyer off the left foot. Across, but again he's kicking into the land of the Giants. Tahu makes a mistake and went back. It's play on. Minicello struggles, but it's line drop out because he took the corner post.
A repeat set of 6 now for the Maroons. They must be bereft of ideas at this stage. They've thrown absolutely everything they can at the New South Wales defence. There's been high kicks, low kicks, inside passes, outside passes, throwing it back deep, throwing it flat. They've had the full arsenal here. There's TBA. I thought that was a bad decision. You can't go into an Origin decider not knowing your game until Saturday. That was ridiculous.
Johns with the line drop out. 28-0 in favour of the Blues. That's a long kick by Johns, marked by Thurston. Galloping back is Nutley. Very short, if you like, stature-wise, by front row forward standards. Compare him with this bloke, Brad Thorne, who went from league and went to Union and played All Blacks. Here's Berrigan. Berrigan, 22 metres away from the Blues line. Hindmarsh, he just never stops working, does he? Lockyer, Thurston, Harrison, and Ashley is taken down. 10 away from the Blues line. Smith is going for a short side play. A dummy looks at the line, but they compress and they muscle and they force back. Harrison again. Now for Thurston. Out towards Matt King's wing, and he lost the ball. It's down and over the dead ball line. And it's another repeat set from the line dropout.
And the Queensland fans, they can't believe it. They just can't get the ball to bounce their way. Matt King, Ty Williams contesting that one. Minicello forcing it over the dead ball line. Another restart from under the posts. Should be lucky to have nails left at the end of this one.
So again, the little fella. And oh, gee, Danny Nutley took that ball back with such venom.
Oh, he's left a couple of Blues defenders.
Oh, has he what, Peter?
Fitzgibbon not well at all. He's looked to the sideline. He might have hurt his shoulder.
He's done a finger, Fitzgibbon.
Well, I knew it was part of the arm, Ray.
But I got to tell you, that is so typical of a Queenslander in trouble. Bowen fumbling, Minicello bringing it out. You would almost think that Nutley was in a side that was leading 28-0. He ran with such enthusiasm.
Yeah, he can hold his head up tonight, whatever happens. Nice tackle from Nathan Hindmarsh on Matt Bowen, slicing through the middle of the ruck. Braithen Astor now. He's been wonderful tonight as well. He has played, as Gus pointed out, like a back rower. And at times they've needed that kind of work from their 5'8". Here's Fitzgibbon with his crook finger and all.
Hold him, Mick.
Here's Nutley's run. Fitzgibbon, his head went in. Riles' head got involved.
He's been waiting 31 years, Danny Nutley, to wear that jersey. He was going to come out and do it proud tonight. Big run.
Used to make rock cakes in his bakery. As it goes from Bowen, it's gone to Ty Williams, and Williams is tackled inside 20.
You don't know if he made those.
Yeah, but
Do apprentices make rock cakes? I don't know.
of course they do. It was one of the favourite cakes of the time. You'd be too young to remember. Forget about it. Bowman plays it now. Bowen gives it. Thurston runs it, gives it away to Crocker. 30 metres away from the line to the hospital ward. That's Flannery. Here's Singh. Inside 40. Smith is with the ball. I'm told it's a calf problem with Chris Flannery for you Roosters supporters. Minicello seldom leaves the arena without a try. Marvellous run again from Minicello. And it was one of those Minicello runs that took them from the pressure cooker at the start of the game.
Move it!
And Asta. Crocker's been tough.
Get away from me.
Controlled aggression from Crocker. There he is on Johns again. Buderus. Bailey. 30-metre line. 28-0. 62 minutes gone. Played by Bailey for Buderus to use Fitzgibbon. Fitzgibbon to Riles, and Riles is taken down by Nutley and Carroll. The Carroll defence tonight, it hasn't had the venom that we normally see from him. As Anasta goes high, Singh, it comes down to Bailey. Bailey absolutely lost in where to go. Tahu's tackle.
But at least he looked at the referee and saw that the signal was 6 again.
Buderus. Cooper cut out, Anasta, and driven down by Carroll and Crocker together with Nutley.
Get away from him, Mick.
Crocker standing over his prey as it goes out to Johns. Johns behind Hindmarsh. Minicello in for Menzies. Menzies a metre from the line. Penalty goes Blues.
No advantage, he's lifted the foot.
Well, did the Blues go for the jugular here, or do they go to 5 converted tries in front? Possibly. They take the tap. Riles heads centre field, looks for support, takes it to the 10.
Movement!
Buderus asking the question. Going to Johns. Johns to Menzies. Menzies, Cow gets it! Try! Again scored by King. That is number 3. He debuted this year. He has scored at the 31st, the 47th, and the 64th minute of the decider. What a night for the Melbourne Stormer.
And the Jason Riles run took a lot of the defence towards the centre of the field, and they never recovered. It came back the right way. Menzies is there. Minicello keeps a defender, and just beautiful hands at the end there. I mentioned Minicello being player of the series, possibly. I couldn't argue with Matt King. Rare for a winger, but he's been superb.
And again, I don't want to go on with this ad nauseum. Did you see the Queensland backs standing on their heels, backing away? Look at them, backing away, backing away, backing away, backing away. They're just allowing the pass to be promoted along the line. There was no reason why that ball should have got from the play the ball to the sideline before meeting Maroon defence. But they just allowed it to happen, and then the smaller man can't hold out this giant. He's coming at speed and just forces his way into the corner. It's been an awesome display by the Blues. Build on the back of big backs. Great ball movement.
Still to come tonight. The presentation ceremony will cover that post-match for you. We'll try and bring you news on the award of the medals, the state medals. The Brad Fittler medal goes to the New South Wales Player of the Series. The Melbourne Ingham medal goes to the Player of the Series for the Queenslanders, and the Wally Lewis medal to the Player of the Series And that conversion falling short. The $5,000 VB man of the match, plus a lap of honour. And, of course, the player of the series, as I said, Andrew Voss, sideline.
And Ray, Matt King joins a fairly exclusive club, and that club is players who have scored hat-tricks in Origin as we watch his 3-try effort tonight. In fact, there's only been 5 players on the Queensland side of things. Kerry Bowstead, Lottie Takiri, Matt Singh, and for New South Wales, we go back to Chris Anderson, 1983. Ryan Girdler did it in 2000, and now Matt King, the 3rd blue and the 6th player in the history of Origin to score a hat-trick.
And speaking of wingers, send our best wishes to Luke Rooney too. A difficult night for Luke, I'd imagine. He actually played club football on the weekend for Penrith, but was ruled out. But every player who plays in a series, and if New South Wales do go on to win this, have played their part, and Rooney has done that as well in the opening 2 matches.
Fitzgibbon. Bailey. That's the mother of Matty King. And Asta driving it down to Bowen. 20 away from his own line. How many times has he been faced with that prospect? Young Matt Bowen, after an exhilarating start to the game when his 5/8 and captain was giving him meters to work in, deep passing, giving him plenty of scope. But then they started to run out of petrol. And the penalty goes to Queensland this time. New South Wales are poised to edge ahead in the most number of wins. They've never actually led Queensland, but tonight they look like going to 37-36 up. Obviously they've drawn level as they are now tonight, but they've never actually poked their little nose in front. But tonight they look like going 37-36. Flannery's calf muscle encased in ice as Thorne gets through, but Hindmarsh determined to keep the 0 on the board. Smith to the pin, beating Menzies. Bailey's there again with Hindmarsh. Hindmarsh and Tahu will back up against the Dragons on Friday night. Lockyer finding Crocker. It goes spewing away. And then Tahu is tackled and put down, losing the ball. Strong defence. Joey's coming off. Johns from the field, and Gower goes back on.
And I don't think Queensland coach Michael Hagan will be too disappointed as Gary, his father, in the crowd, gives us a wave.
One, movement. Hold.
King.
Hold, go.
Hindmarsh now on the 20-metre line.
2.
Pulled down by Harrison. Some evidence of a wedgie in there, but that's gone through to the keeper. Simpson on the benches. Riles, Bailey. Talking of Tahu and Hindmarsh, of course, you Dragons people will be hoping that Bailey and Riles and Gasnier and Cooper back up as Anasta throws the dummy, goes through, puts the kick ahead. New South Wales trying to beat it to the sideline is Cooper. And it goes into touch as we take a break. Back in a moment, 32-0. State of Origin 3, live on the Nine Network. On this Wednesday night here in Australia, as Berrigan runs it away for the Maroons. 32-0. 5 tries, 3 of them to Matt King. Who would have ever dreamt that? Sivanasiva. Thurston away for Bowman. Kicks ahead. Matt Singh is after it. So is Matt Cooper, and Cooper appears to win the ball race. Yes, he does.
And Ray, with the game out of reach for Queensland now, it's all about the little things in the game. There's nothing more demoralising than playing in an Origin match where you don't score. The cream of your state can't get any points against the opposition. It is a horrible thing to take away from a game. For New South Wales, there is no greater delight than to keep your opponents to 0. Not in your wildest dreams do you think you're going to win a State of Origin and keep the opposition scoreless.
The last time Queensland were kept to nil was in Game 2, 1994, that at the Melbourne Cricket Ground in front of close to 90,000 people. And New South Wales on that night levelled the series, then came to Lang Park and became the first New South Wales team to ever win a decider up in Brisbane. This will be the second team to win a decider in Brisbane.
Knocking on over there is King. This crowd tonight, as I told you, is a capacity crowd. It has fallen 48 short of being a ground record crowd. 52,436. The ground record was set in Game 1 this year at 52,484.
Locks in.
And I've got to say that the first 15 minutes this evening, it is the loudest I've ever heard a crowd here at Suncorp Stadium. But since New South Wales got back and got in front,
Already held. Come over the top.
there's been little falling to cheer about. Although an ironic one there, penalty for a home team for an infringement in the tackle on Matt Bowen.
Line finder taken by Lockyer. You're watching the Origin live on 9. There'll be a full recap of the game tomorrow night on the Footy Show. Sivanasiva playing the ball 22 away from the line. That's Corey Parker.
2, stand up.
Vidiris involved in the tackle with Ryan. 2 club captains. Berrigan swerving off his left foot, putting a kick in. Picked up by Minicello.
1, stand.
Nobody does it better than he does. That little skill of rugby league. 17 out from their line. Their major concern now is to keep Queensland scoreless. I'm just wondering, as he crouches over a dummy half and passes the ball, Vidiris, how much pain he might be in. He's had this terrible problem with a toe. It looked like keeping him out of the game. But he is made of something that very few of us are made of, I'm afraid. Tough, resilient, determined. Singh, Matty Singh makes a fine break in his 24th Origin. Passes to the middle. Now it's back to Thurston. Thurston scores. That's his first Origin try. He has kicked the field goal, but that's his first try in Origin football. 32-4. It might not be the time you want to score your maiden try.
No, but it is reward for perseverance, and again, it may well be the last try scored in an Origin game, and invariably it is Queensland who achieved this. It's a simple missed tackle here. Braithen Astor coming in with Ben Kennedy slicing between, and then it was an option on the inside through the long pass to Cameron Smith. That took Anthony Minicello wide and enabled a simple run there for Jonathan Thurston.
Little Matty Singh voted this year in the top 25 Queensland players of all time, and deservedly so. Made the break there. And Jonathan Thurston, one of the newer members in the team, who's had a fine series. Any Queensland player who wears the number 7 walks in the footsteps of the great Alan Langer, and that's a load to carry. But this kid has carried it well. One of the North Queensland Cowboys this year. He's improved them as a football team. He will play more Origin football. So too will Cameron Smith. The Queenslanders won't go away with it going too long at this.
As Cameron Smith converts the first try of the night for the Maroons. Michael Hagan up in the box there with Kevin Walters, Andrew Boss sideline.
And great encouragement from the Queensland crowd here at Suncorp Stadium as Matt Singh made that break. Finished off by Jonathan Thurston. Look, excuse me for being just a little biased tonight, but I would like to see Queensland score another try, finish the night with another try, their second of the night, just to finish everything level in what has been a celebration year for State of Origin. These two great teams would finish at 205 tries each. I think that would be great.
Still to come on 9. Post-game, the presentation, the $5,000 VB Man of the Match, plus the lap of honour. Something that the Blues will soak up for only the second time in a series decider here in Queensland. And of course we'll have the naming of the player of the series. Stay with us at the end of the game for all of that still to come. 4.5 minutes of time remaining on the clock. And I alluded to Friday night's game. That will be a great game of football. Two arch rivals coming together in Friday night football. Parramatta and St George Illawarra. Ben Ross held by Medeiros and Fitzgibbon.
Let him go.
Well, they're starting to scuffle up a little bit. Fitzgibbon, Medeiros. Nothing happened so far. It's okay.
I think Ben Ross was well put out by Jason Riles, coming in what he believed to be late. And then just a little push and shove from Craig Fitzgibbon.
Craig, the call's made. You had a hold of it. All you had to do was release it. The call was made. Here we go.
Well, you're entitled to come in there. Queensland do plenty of that. Carl Webb did it in game one. They thought it was all right then. And a little bit of get square there, Jason Riles. This game's not over. They don't know about the scoreboard and the clock. The players, they just keep ripping into one another.
Just inside the 20-metre line then, Sivan Asiva makes a late charge towards the Blues line. Cameron Smith has been so busy. Thurston for Ross, and Ross has driven up the centre, but the Blues are there waiting. Bailey and Riles. Smith just dummies and then finds Lockyer, who does the same. Bowen, they're looking for the corner, got it. They're in again. Bowen has scored for Queensland. And Andrew has got his wish come true. 32-10, 77 gone. It was early in that, or late in the first half, I should say. There's the score, 32-10. Plenty of vacant seats out there at the moment. The crowd were taken out of this, the massive Queensland crowd taken out before half-time, really. Here's Bowen sliding in to score his 4th Origin try. This young Queenslander with massive potential. He's about the size of the great Clive Churchill. He might not go that far in rugby league, but I tell you what, he won't fall very short. And that is a hell of a statement to make. Cameron Smith from the sideline. Not quite. Smith has been great for Queensland. King has been wonderful for New South Wales. He scored 3 tries. I'm just wondering what Matthew Alford is thinking about maybe parting company with these mates that have been so good here at the highest level.
Well, that's the nature of rugby league nowadays. Salary caps and all sorts of things. You've got to move on. You can't keep your players. You're penalised for success. That man, Matty Bowen, as a young Queenslander, would have been around about the time that he was a kid and they said Alan Langer was too small to play State of Origin football. So what a champion he ended up. And that inspires young fellas to say, I can do it too. There'll be some kid sitting at home watching Matty Bowen saying, I just want to be like him. Come to this great arena and test himself against the best in the world.
Mark square.
20-metre line played by Ben Ross. We're watching the final moments of the 24th series. This year we've celebrated 25 years of Origin football. And it has been a magnificent series. It started with that extra time intercept try by Matt Bowen. Then the Blues gave them a touch-up in Sydney. They've had a bit of bad luck. The Maroons, of course, they lost Steve Price, they lost Carl Webb. Here's a kick through late. And Minicello can't get a hand on it. The siren has gone. Thurston loses it. It's very scrappy. It's over. Well, the final second might have been scrappy, but it wasn't anything like that from New South Wales. They have won 32-10. It's a record win for the Blues in Brisbane. A record win for New South Wales in Brisbane. Andrew Voss is with Andrew Johns.
Yes, with Andrew Johns. Have a look at the elation on the New South Wales players' faces, the embrace between former Knights teammates Kennedy and Johns. Andrew, what about this? Mission accomplished for New South Wales.
Yeah, great feeling. It was always really confident going in. Just enjoy being back out here. It's what footy's all about, and I'd like to thank everyone for letting me be involved.
Honestly, any nerves before this one tonight being a decider?
I was a bit nervous, mate, but just knew we'd done the work and really confident in Ricky's game plan. Mate, look at the side. Great attacking side, but our defence, you know, that first half, the first 10 minutes just showed what a great defensive side it is.
Well done, Andrew. Join your teammates, mate. Well done, Andrew Johns, right?
So many records have been broken. So many things have been achieved here in 2005 by Ricky Stuart's team. Before this, the team that had lost the first match in a series had only come back 3 times to win the series. So this becomes the 4th. It becomes only the 2nd New South Wales side to come back after losing the first and win a decider. Daly's team did it in '94. Now it's been done for Danny Badiris, and that is Andrew Johns' first win in a decider. Hard to believe with a CV or a portfolio